Today we will discuss about solar charge controller. Actually, I have seen a lot of resources about solar charge controller, but none of them was a complete package. So I am here, I will describe about solar charge controller with every details. I am launching a solar home system series, and in this series I will discuss about every component of solar system that you should know. So without further ado, let's jump in. Okay, wait. If you are new here in my channel and if you don't know about my channel, so I am Bapti. I make energy and engineering process related contents. So hit the subscribe button and stay tuned. First of all, you all have to know what a charge controller is. Actually, a charge controller is a simple electric device that controls the charge that enters into the battery and also the charge that exits from the battery. Okay, let me show you a diagram first. In this diagram, you can see here the charge controller plays a dual role here. Actually, it controls the entering voltage to the battery and it also controls the exiting voltage from the battery. Actually, by regulating this charge flow, the charge controller will optimize the battery life as well as optimize the efficiency. So if you want to get the highest efficiency, you must use a charge controller. In this video, I will cover this topic. Actually, you should know about the key features, key parameters and types of charge controller. Again, I will discuss about the selection of charge controller, which one will be better for you. To understand why do you need a charge controller, first of all you have to understand a voltage versus percentage of charge graph of a battery. Actually, this graph is for a 24 volt lead acid battery, and you can see here the curve is almost linear, but here the curve is non-linear. Remember, the battery will work perfectly under the linear curved area. Okay, if the voltage goes in the undercharging area or the overcharging area, what will happen? Let me show you. If the voltage goes under 22.8 volt, then there will happen sulfation. Now what is sulfation? Sulfation is the formation of lead sulfate on the electrode of the battery. Sulfation will form a layer on the electrode and this layer will result in more heat and more resistance. So sulfation must be avoided. Again, if the voltage goes above 28.2 volt, there will happen decomposition of water. Water will split into oxygen and hydrogen. Oxygen is good for us, it's a lifesaver, but hydrogen, no, it doesn't. Actually, hydrogen is very explosive and it will cause explosion if there is any fire. So overcharge will cause two effects. First of all, there will be the degradation of water in your battery and there is a risk of explosion around the battery area. A charge controller has some key features also. If you know about the key features of your charge controller, your system optimization is easy for you and your efficiency will increase. We have already seen the charge controller will protect the battery from being overcharged or undercharged. Except this, the charge controller will block the reverse current. In the night, there is no energy production from the solar panel. So the battery tends to flow the charge toward the solar panel, but the charge controller blocks it. Again, if your charge controller is expensive, then you have so many options, such as you can configure your control set points and program your charge controller. You can program your undercharge and overcharge region. You can have a display and metering unit that will show you the load consumption and the cost of load consumption of your home. Again, if your charge controller contains a memory, then you can have the events history also. Every charge controller has 4 parameters. You should know about these parameters because every charge controller will work regarding these parameters. Let me show you. If the charging voltage goes above 28 volts, then the charge controller will disconnect battery from the solar panel. By doing this, it will protect the battery from being overcharged. When the battery will supply some loads and the battery voltage will reduce to 27 volts, then the overall disconnect will occur and the solar panel will be allowed to charge the battery. Same thing will happen for the undercharge condition. If the battery voltage goes under 21.6 volts, then the charge controller will disconnect the battery from the loads. By doing this, it will protect the battery from being undercharged. Again, if the battery gains some charge by being charged by the solar panel, then there will happen undercharge disconnect and it will occur at 25 volts. Remember one thing, these volts values are for a 24 volt lead acid battery, but for a 12 volt or 48 volt or above voltage battery, this value will be proportional. For example, for a 12 volt battery, this 28 volts value will be 14 volts. Again, this 27 volts value will be 13 volts. So hope you can understand this. Okay, let me discuss about the working principle of a charge controller. A charge controller has microprocessors, sensors and some voltage sensing units like potentiometers. Actually, the sensors collects all the data from the surroundings and compares it with the set point. Then according to the program, the microprocessor takes the action. The output of the charge controller is the combined action of these components. Let me discuss about the type of charge controller. Actually, in order to select the perfect charge controller, you have to know about the types. There are 3 types of charge controller. Let me show you. The charge controller is of 3 kinds: shunt type, PWM or pulse width modulation, and MPPT or maximum power point tracking type. Actually, shunt charge controller is simply does on-off control. It is not important for us. The PWM charge controller controls the charge flow to the battery according to the state of charge of the battery. Let me show you a diagram. Here in this diagram, if the battery have 0% charge, then the charge controller will act as 100% duty cycle. If the battery contains 25% charge, then the charge controller will follow 75% duty cycle. The above cycle will follow the same condition. Again, the maximum power point tracking type tracks the maximum power point line. The MPPT type charge controller modulates the extra power generated by the solar panel and utilize the total power by contracting the charging time and to speed up the charging process. Well, now which charge controller will you choose? Actually, the shunt type is not available in the market. I have made a comparison between PWM and MPPT type charge controller Let me show you a table, then you will understand the difference between these two. In this table, you can see the MPPT type charge controller is 10 to 30% more efficient. It offers DC load optimization, and it also can optimize the voltage difference between the solar panel and the battery into current, and it can speed up the charging process. But the PWM charge controller doesn't offer these facilities. But MPPT charge controller is 2 or 3 times more expensive than the PWM. Listen, if you have a lower budget, then you can go for a PWM charge controller. But if you have no budget problem, then you must go for a MPPT. Obviously, MPPT charge controller is the best choice for you. But if you have a low budget and if you want to go with your system, then PWM is okay for you. But remember one thing, if your panel and battery voltage is same, you can go for PWM or MPPT. But if your panel voltage is more than your battery voltage, then you must go for MPPT. Hope you have understood all the topics I discussed in this video. And if you want to know more about any topic in this video, please comment below. And if you want to know more about the selection of charge controller, which one will be better for you, PWM or MPPT, in further details, please let me know in the comment section. And if you are new here in my channel and if you liked my content, please hit the subscribe button and stay tuned with my channel.